The more you model, the better you get at it. Perfect. Let's make another small model, this time an mid-century inspired coffee table. What is quite interesting in this exercise is how I could show you how we can build an object that has only rounded corners. There's actually a very nice geometry process in how to sketch everything out also cleanly and evenly so that left and right side is symmetrical. Then we will go into how can we model something that is perfectly centered to other objects. We will go a little bit more into sketching everything out and then adjusting the sketch via the move command. Also, we will do again how to copy rotate objects at various degrees or quantities. And we will start everything also in this case by modeling based on image references, which via the tape measurement tool we will scale correctly. And they even use a different measurement system. So I will show you how for measurements we can actually work with multiple measurement systems inside the same design. Very good. Let's get going. Before we get started, we would like to set the camera to parallel projection and standard view top. The link to the reference images is inside the description. Click on it, download, and then unpack the images. I placed them onto my desktop. Back to SketchUp. We will go to Window, Model Info, and we'd like to show you something. You will have Enable Length Snapping turned on. And here we can specify to what length I would like the snapping to work. So for example, now every ½ inch when I move something, it will snap. This is not something we want, so we'll turn this one off. Very good. We can keep this also in architecture, or if you want decimal and inches, that's fine. Good. Let's close it. Then we go File, Import. We will start with bottom, import. Click it somewhere there and then click again. We can adjust the scale. It doesn't really matter how big it is. Very good. When we zoom in, you can see here 30 millimeters. So this is 30 millimeters wide. Oh, no, this image is in millimeters, but our scene is in inches. Well, do we have to go back to model and change this to, centimeters, millimeters? Yeah, we can. We don't have to. The nice thing is we can go to the tape measurement, and this is really important. Now I click at the center of this line, go over, click at the center of this line. So now I measure the distance on that image, and now I can type in 30 mm for 30 millimeters and press enter. SketchUp will ask me if I would like to resize the model. We will click yes. It also says resize the model, not resize this element. So everything will be resized, what would be inside the scene, which is why I start with this image, place it, and then scale, and then the image is actually to scale and I can continue working. So yes, then let's zoom out. There it is. Cool. When we now take a measurement, 1.17 inches, let's verify just so we see millimeters. Okay. There, see 30 millimeters, very close. Perfect. Okay. So you see, the nice thing is we can actually work with various units. We don't have to change the unit system of our design or model. Cool. Now we would like to rotate this one. Click for the center, go up, click, rotate 90 degrees, click, very good. There's a green and a red line. We can use each one to line up with our scene 2. Ideally, when we move it, don't move it diagonal, go along the X or Y axis. Very good. So now this image is actually scaled and rotated. Good. Let's go to side view, file, import, next one. Click it somewhere and just click. Okay. So this leg is actually this one. So we would like to rotate it. Rotate. I go to the world center, but you see it should be blue, not green. Click and click, rotate it. And then I will click this and along the Z axis, that's important. You see how this goes straight up and down, or press the up arrow key and I move it down and then click and I pressed the right arrow key. I just moved this to the left side till it starts lining up. So, because we need to scale this image. And as I said, if we now would scale this to what we need, everything, including the first image, will be scaled too. So this command we only can use once. But now, since this one is calibrated, we can just scale this one as needed. And I scale this one left and right till I have the feeling this lines up really good. That's actually very close. So maybe 0.999. Okay. 5. Yeah, this is good. Perfect. The scale of this image is correct because I scaled the content of the tabletop to be from the side the same as the top view or bottom view. No? And now click up arrow key and I move it straight up till the x-axis lines up. There we are. Pretty cool. Yeah. So now we have actually everything nicely calibrated. And this is really good. We can put this and this onto a new, how could I say, tag. I will say here, site reference, and hide this. Click this one, and there I write down bottom reference and enter. You see, by entering the reference name for the first time and pressing enter, it creates a new tag and then also puts it onto it. That's very good. This object I don't want to move anymore. So, oh, I can't lock it. Interesting. Yeah, the lock isn't there. Okay, anyway, we can actually hide those all the time. So when we model later and it needs to be out of a view, then we can turn this on off. Okay. So everything is set up and now we're ready to do our first modeling. Let's go into the top view, zoom in a little bit. And now this looks like a triangle, but it's not a triangle where each side is really the same. Plus we have here a rectangle with a hexagon element at the center of the rectangle, but this is not the center of this triangular shape. I'm going to show you now a really interesting way how we can rebuild this via geometrical sketching. So it's strengthening your geometry skill. So first step we would do is we need to figure out how big is a radius, or sorry, a circle. This looks very close. I will click and delete the fill, select the ring, and then go to move, and from the center move this a little bit to the right, and I pay attention to that here, here, and here it touches perfectly. Very good. Now the next step. Here is my world origin, and this is my circle center. And you see then with the line command, I draw these lines. Very good. Then this, and this can go. I have now actually created these lines. They need to be a little bit longer. So why longer? Let's actually go to the arc command. And oh, cool, we can draw an arc. But you see here, this is too short. So this starting point and this starting point needs to go a little bit further away. So let's delete this line, that deletes the filling. And when I go with the pen to the end, let's say 1 inch. Okay, there we drew another line, we extended it. Here, this was very easy. We just drew horizontally along the x-axis. How do I actually draw a line extending this direction? Well, I just moved the mouse so it looks like it's parallel. And you see it says it's extending it. Type in 1 and enter. Very good. That's actually a part that is, in terms of sketching, really well solved in SketchUp. Now, let's see, was this 1 inch extension good? Yeah, this looks actually pretty nice. Perfect, good. So that means down here, also 1 inch. And then click, click, go to there, click, click, go to there. A little bit of housekeeping. So this is 24.5, enter. And what is this one? Something different. You see here, I can adjust the radius and clean this up afterwards. Quite nice. Cool. Okay. So then I will delete these lines. Very nice. And I will also delete this fill. Because what we need to do now is how can we round these corners? In SketchUp, we won't really be able to get this as smooth as the original design. But very often what we do in SketchUp only is just create a rough representation. So this will be sufficient. So I can select the arc tool, and now here is basically the process. I go a little bit further away on purpose, click on this edge, go down. Ideally, now I want to go straight down. I can also click the left mouse button in this case. Sorry, the left arrow key that goes straight down till I snap onto there. Very good. And then I move my mouse till it says tangent to edge. Okay, double click. Now there it put actually the arc in and the arc starts and ends tangent. Very good. Undo. I can't really start here. I have to start a little bit further there. Yeah, maybe here, this midpoint. I will try out. Yeah, this is actually, that's pretty good. That's a lucky hit. It's also magenta, so double click, very good. And then we erase this. Very good. Okay, we have to delete this fill. Now, how do we do this here? I will eyeball this first a little bit. So here is an endpoint. There is the other endpoint, but this is way too big. So escape. Let's go back. There's a midpoint. Yeah, here. Not perfect, but this is fine. Double tap. Good. And then I can delete this. So how do I now find the correct point below? You see actually, hold on, let me show you it this way. I will click on this. This is actually the arc. We added, and here's the original arc. So here's actually the point. So there you see I can click on this point. And I just start drawing this now. There. Okay, cool. Now actually I found the other part. But you see now when I do this, I don't get this arc anymore. So this unfortunately is not something that really works in this case. So what we have to do in this instance is actually very easy. We just draw here a line. Very good. Now I go to the tape measurement and click, and that's the trick now. Click and drag till it tells me where is actually here. This is where the arc starts. Yeah, very good. There's now a guideline. And this guideline we have down here too. Okay. Click and there. Double click. Okay. So let me explain this one more time. So here is actually our arc. We can see here it stops. Maybe to mark this more, I'm actually creating myself here two lines. So you can see this is where I have to go. And also here you see the start and the end point of this arc. Then somewhere we draw a straight line, use the tape measurement, click and drag. Only see by having this actually highlighted, I see where the blue arc ends. And then this way I can position a guideline. Okay, well, this is just geometrical helper. And then I go down. This is now the same starting point. Click, go to here, move till it looks magenta. Very good. And double click. Then eraser, click, click, click. Very good. So let's go to side view. This should be 20 millimeters high. So click, drag up, 20 millimeters, enter. And then triple click, right click, make group. And I will call this tabletop. So that's my tabletop. Let's show actually the site, because this tabletop, I can now click, press the up key, move this up till it lines up with the image. There we are. Now let's maybe bring this a tick down. Don't forget to press the arrow key so we can snap perfectly. Very nice. So you see in this exercise, now we don't necessarily work super precise based on dimensions. We use just these images to eyeball the design. Again, this is very sufficient when we just have to make a concept model of a piece of furniture. we know a client would like to have or has, and we would like to put this into the visualization of the interior design space we would like to propose. Cool. So this part is done. Let's actually hide this and hide side reference. Go to the top view. And here we have another rectangle. So rectangle, so from there to there. So I could do something like this, but no, I don't really know. I would like to draw this rectangle from the center out. And not from corner to corner. Okay, so, but when I press actually Alt key, oh, you see, we can draw from the center or from a corner. And when I is there a key to make this, how can I say that, proportional? There's no key to force this into a rectangle, but if you really pay attention to, once it is a square, you see there's a diagonal popping up. Okay, so that means escape, rectangle, go to here, click an option key, move it till you see this diagonal, and then very carefully move. And there it says 5.3. Yeah, this is fine. We can use this image as a reference. Very good. I don't really know how thick this one is. So in this case, we will turn on our side reference, double click this, then go to the move command, and I turn this off and check this out now. So I go to move, click this up arrow key, and now I move my mouse either onto this corner or onto the face. You see it snaps to that face. Click. Very nice. Now it's perfectly on it. And now push and pull. Click and drag down. Click. Select. Triple click. Right click. Make group. And well, we put this into tabletop. These two belong together. Okay. Very nice. Now we have actually the tabletop and the support element modeled. To continue, we can turn on the bottom view again, go into also a top view. This side maybe I turn off just to make sure I do not have any, I don't by accident snap to it. Then how do we now create this hexagon? Oh, look at that. There's a polygon tool. Okay, let's see how this works. 6 sides, very good. That is perfect. So click from the center and see here we have to go up this way so we get a nice hexagon there. Very nice. Then I will delete this fill and create another hexagon in the inside there. Click. Very good. Then let me turn this off so it's easier to see. Click, click, escape, and click, click, escape, and then zip. All this we erase. Very nice. So there we have now actually the element we only need. Maybe our side reference we turn on. So we see where it is. We can also turn on tabletop. Bottom we can turn off now. And now we do the same. Move. Here this along the Z direction and snap it onto this part. Click, and then extrude this one down. There. Very good. Triple click and make group. Perfect. So, however, we have 6 of those. How do we do this? Well, we know this is actually quite easy. We go to the rotate tool, click at the center, and before we do this, press the option key. You also see this command down here, what we have to do, or the alt key. So option, click, click. So 360 degrees divided by 6, that's 60. So 60, enter. Let's see. Yeah, that's correct. Multiplied by 5. There we have now all 6 pieces. Okay, let me redo this one more time. So we select this one, rotate, center, turn on the copy command function with the alt option key, click, 60 degrees, enter, star 5. So for multiply 5 times. There we are. Beautiful. With this finished, now we can go back to the side view. And now we would like to model this part. Okay, so let's see how we do this. So from here to here, I have this line. Okay. And then, yeah, how do I do this? So here I will turn the side reference off. Okay, see, then I can still move it. This is actually important. So I do something where you might say, hey, I can do it this way, and escape, and no, there's no fill. And look what happened. We just drew this onto whatever it snapped, and it doesn't work that way. So let's undo this. Go back to the side view. From here, click, and this is now really important. I press the up key, and that actually kind of like constrains the height. Maybe okay. Or I go into a 3D view, and there's the midpoint. Click. There's the midpoint. You see it also goes along the x-axis. Go down, there's the next midpoint. And then I go to the end. Okay, yeah, that worked well. This works actually in this case because we model this from the side and this sits already perfectly centered there. So let's try this one more time in 3D view. So from here, where's the midpoint? There. Where's the midpoint here? There, there, and. Very good. Let me show you an alternative way. So we go to this view from there with the up key pressed, up arrow key pressed. I go to here. Then now this is actually along the x-axis. So the right arrow key to there. Then this has to go down, up arrow key, and click and click. And this is obviously wrong. No big problem. We just, with the move command, go to that endpoint, right arrow key, and then we move it to where we would like this to be. Okay, so it's a little bit in. Yep, that looks pretty good. For the thickness now, we can turn on this view. And when this is 30, this should mean this has to go 15 millimeters. So U this way, 15 millimeters, enter. And then this one, 15 millimeters, enter. Double click, right click, make group. There we are. We can call this lag. There we are. Where's this one actually? Those we put into hexagon base. Here, this one we have 2 more times. So same trick, because everything is symmetrical here. There. And click, click. So 360 degrees divided by 3, that is 120. Oh, okay, escape, because I didn't turn on the copy command. So 120 multiplied by 2. Suck. Yeah, there we are. Beautiful. We have a little bit of a rubber glide or a stopper under it. So how do we do that? It's also very easy. So we go back. Here now we do pretty much the same. I will actually find where's the midpoint. There is the midpoint. Very nice. Okay. And now I could go ahead and I would like to measure the distances. So measurement tool, click and drag along the x-axis. You see 1.5. Okay. Click and drag along the x-axis 0.15 and enter. That is good. Can I actually, it does not. I was just curious if we could remove this part. That's fine. So here's the midpoint. I can go straight down. So now I know exactly from where to where to where I need to draw this arc. That's good. Go and go, go and go and go. This goes. And now I need the circle. Make the circle bigger. I think I can delete the fill. Then follow me. You. No, come on. And a little bit. Oh, there we are. No. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Is this actually open? Or is this flipped? Interesting. Now you notice that yeah, there's a piece missing. Okay, yeah, not a big deal. This is not perfect, but what we're trying to do here right now, this is fine. And reverse face, very good. We did a triple click and say group. Oh, actually, explode. It did not select all the objects. That's the reason why I was just hiding the object to see if there's anything left. There's not. Very good. And then this we can 120 multiplied by 2, copy and paste and rotate. There we are. Now the bottom here is slightly open. Technically speaking, that's lazy modeling. Why I'm not fixing this? Well, we will never see it. That's why. Well, that's one of the big rules actually in 3D modeling. We do something for presentation purpose here. So everything that we don't really see, we don't have to care about because it's not something that's going to be visible or seen. You can't spend well, technically speaking, you can't spend the money on it because time is money, but you might not really get a payoff for that. So it's just an economical tip. Not to be lazy, it's just simply you have to decide where something is enough. And I would say this piece is finished. Very nice.